One, the qualified teachers that they recruit, then they call them interns. The court tells them no, they still insist. That's contrary to that. You see MPs giving employment letters there. Whose responsibility is that? TSC. So, in other words, all that is good on paper, the practice is completely at variance. And this happens, by the way, I'll put it here, point blank, that it's the State House that orchestrates the TSC's maladministration and disorganization the way it does. It is the State House that takes the employment letters and now gives to the MPs that are aligned to them, so that now they buy political favor. It is the one that is disrupting institutional integrity of constitutional offices, constitutional commissions, and because of that, I think that's why nobody cares to do anything right. And maybe let me take you ahead. When these younger ones, I say they have some, some intellect within them, that intuition that helps them to recognize what is wrong and what is right. They also see these things.
They do.
When they see, that is how they learn. They have probably learned that in Kenya, if you go the right way, you not get it right. They've probably seen that because they have seen in Kenya the meritocracy and the aspect of this one is somebody who is qualified and meets the credentials that requires to be appointed. They see that person is being overlooked.
Yeah.
I'll put a number of things in this bag. These children are in school and back at home, they have siblings. Some graduates, no employment, but they know some who have no papers, but have already gotten jobs and have gone to River Road to get the fake things. They know that. So when they come and start wondering, they say, oh, this is how Kenya is. So they have also started to copy and to act in this particular manner. So for it to be gotten right, we don't just have to get the instruments right, but we also have to get the value system correctly. But even the value system, Ndu and Dennis, the value system, you go to our constitution and the Article 10, the national values and principles of governance. Everything that is stated there is so clear, but what is being done then is also outside.
So it sounds like a people problem.
It is a leadership problem, I think, and the people are just getting frustrated. And then if it is a leadership problem, it is a failure in leadership, failure to ensure that systems work, because if everybody knows that systems will work, nobody would try to avoid it. And Dennis, in the year 2003, January, after Kibaki winning overwhelmingly in 2002 election, the Kenyans, the people were with the leadership and they backed that leadership up. In fact, prior to that, it was a normal thing to find the police asking for bribes along the way. Yeah. But immediately after Kibaki was sworn in, people arrested these crude officers. And by the way, the officers who take bribes are not many. There are just a few elements along. People arrested them and said, never again will you do this. In other words, when the leadership sets the tone, people will follow. When you set the right tone, what happened? It is only after Anglo-leasing landed. And people said, oh, we are arresting and really torturing these junior officers here, and you people are planning to steal millions. The Anglo-leasing scandal, which where the big guns and people we thought really meant well for this country, where when you talk of them, integrity comes closer, accountability comes closer, transparency comes closer. That is when Ndugu John Githongo unveiled and told us the massive rot that was happening in there. And Kenyans say, whoa, back again to where we started from. So it is a leadership which must be fixed. And I think we have to be also very honest here. At times, Kenyans also give themselves such mediocre leaderships.
Okay.
They do, because let me tell you, I don't have to ask you which faith and all that. I'm Christian. Of course, based on that, so the Bible is very close to me. But if I get a pastor who has been brought to my church, and the first thing the pastor, this is a pastor who said, Biblia ni bure kabisa, don't trust it at all. The first thing is that I will not listen to what that pastor says. But in Kenya here is where the person who actually led in trashing the constitution, you say, no, you are good enough. You can also lead this country. And not just that, we are giving you the oath that you will uphold, defend, protect, fulfill this constitution. Who is
fooling?
Who is fooling the other one here? It is you who are giving people responsibilities that they cannot shoulder. And when now it starts cracking, then you wonder what really happened. I think Kenyans should also be taking responsibility on some of this, but having given them a mandate, they must also pile pressure
and here
for
we
these
are.
guys to act appropriately.
So school unrest is an issue, and these committees had to deal with the issue of school unrest over the last 30 years. And that it was an issue 30 years ago.